So the next thing I want to do is do a little bit more with my navigation panel area. So I'm just going to click inside of this, and what I really want to do is maybe add some menus or some buttons up here so that people can actually get to what we had planned out here, to my about page, my resume, my portfolio, and my contacts page. So up here, while I have my cursor inside of this box, I'm actually going to go to this Insert tab, and I'm going to insert something different. So I'm going to click this Layout drop down, so you can tell that layout is related to everything that you can add to your site that's related to layout. What I want to add is something called Spry. And I specifically want to add a Spry Menu Bar, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to choose a horizontal Spry Menu Bar. So I'm going to go ahead and click over to Live View just to see what that looks like. And that looks actually pretty good. Right now our logo is kind of in the way. So for the purposes of designing my Spry Menu Bar, what I might do is just click on my logo AP div. Make sure that you don't click, if you click on the middle, you've got the image selected. You want to click on the very edge so that you have the AP div box selected instead. You want to select the container, not the contents within the container. So while I have the container selected, the AP div box, I'm probably going to change that index back to 1 for now. And the reason why is because I want it to be back behind. That way my Spry menu bar here is selectable. I'm going to click on this blue tab here. And when I click on this blue tab thing, I notice down here in the properties, things change. This isn't what we're used to seeing. So this is the properties to this Spry menu bar. And we see item 1, 2, 3, 4. And right now I have item 1 selected, meaning that everything that is underneath item 1, I have 3 sub-items. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes up here, and I have 4 items here. Let's just go to Live View really quick. And if I roll my mouse over item 1, I notice that I have 3 sub-menu items here. Item 2 doesn't have any, item 3 has 3 sub-menu items, and item 4 doesn't have any. Let's get out of Live View and go back to here, and we notice that item 1 has 3 sub-menus. Item 3 has sub-menu items, item 2 has none, and item 4 has none. So let's click on item 1, and item 1 is actually going to become our home page. So we want to change the text from item 1 to say actually home page. So here where it says text, maybe I'll type in home. And then item 2, and where am I getting the word home from? What I'm doing is I'm just simply going about this here. So my index page will actually be my home page. So I'll need an about, a resume, a portfolio, and a contact. So item 2 becomes about. Maybe item 3 will become resume. Item 4 becomes portfolio. And we're kind of missing an extra item here, so we just hit this plus sign up here and we get another one that we can add in. And this becomes contact. And then we said in our portfolio that we may have 2 sub-items, so I'm going to just click this plus sign twice. So maybe this top one becomes Specialization Studio. We don't need to worry about spaces here. And then this one becomes Design Implementation. And then remember we had some here, like a bunch of sub-items here, and our home page doesn't have any sub-items. We're just going to get rid of these. About looks pretty good. Our resume does not have any sub-items. So this menu and all of its children will be deleted. And notice that item 3 has even more sub-items. So yeah, I'm going to just delete that. Delete again, and delete again. And there we go. So now let's go take a look at what this looks like in Live View. So we have home, we have about, resume, and we have a portfolio drop-down. We have a few other problems here, of course, specifically visually. Our box is gray and our text is black. When we roll over things, it's blue. It doesn't exactly match up with our website here. What also might be really nice if I could justify all of this stuff to the right side, so that way I can bring my logo back to the front. So what I need to do now is I need to actually save this, because right now these navigation panels is actually written using JavaScript and it's not in my website directory. So I'm going to go up here and hit File and hit Save. And as soon as I do that, I get a little dialog box that pops up that talks about copy dependent files. So these are those JavaScript files and the images that make up these little menu bars. And right now they're not in that website directory, which means if I was to upload my website directory to a web server, these menu bars would not function or basically not exist. So I actually need to click OK here. But before I click OK, I want to go out to my web directory really quick. And I'm going to click on Dreamweaver, and this is my index page. This is what it looks like right now. And right now we see a little box here that says Spry Assets. And this is where all of my Spry Menu Bar items are going to end up. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And we can see that all of our Spry Menu Bar items ends up in the Spry Assets. So these are all of those dependent files that make up these menus. So when we go to actually publish to a website, we'll need to upload all of this information, including our Spry assets. And one thing we need to take note of is how big is our website thus far. So I'm going to highlight all of this and just do right click in properties. And we're 521 kilobytes. And right now we're saying that our web hoster says we're only allowed to have 8 megabytes. So this is actually doing pretty good thus far.